It started with a bark sharp, sudden, and chillingly timed, the kind of bark that ripped through silence like a blade. Daniel Ward, a 38-year-old paramedic from a small Washington town, had grown used to strange things during night shifts: car wrecks, heart attacks, overdoses, but nothing unnerved him like the sound of his dog barking in the middle of the night, because every time Rex barked like that, someone died. He had first noticed it months ago on a rainy evening when his phone buzzed with a call for a cardiac arrest. 10 minutes after Rex had begun growling at the front door, hackles up, eyes fixed on something only he could see. Daniel hadn't thought much of it. Then dogs sensed storms or intruders, that's all. But when it happened, again, the bark, the growl, and a fatal car crash nearby, the pattern began to haunt him. By the 5th time, Daniel stopped pretending it was coincidence. Rex barked only when death was near. Tonight, the dog was at it again. It was 2:37 a.m. Daniel had been dozing on the couch, the TV flickering blue light across his tired face, when Rex lifted his head, ears twitching. Then came the low rumble, a deep guttural warning. Within seconds, it turned into that same eerie bark. One bark, pause, one bark again. As if counting down, Daniel's chest tightened. Not again. He muttered, getting up, rubbing his eyes. Who is it this time? The air felt heavy, no rain, no thunder, nothing out of place, yet everything felt wrong. He grabbed his phone, checking for emergency alerts. Nothing. He walked to the window. The street outside was quiet, motionless. Rex stood rigid near the door, staring at the hallway. Mirror, tail tucked low, teeth bared. Rex, what do you see? Daniel whispered. The dog whimpered, backing away. His phone suddenly vibrated. Incoming call. It was dispatch. Ward, we've got a situation, the operator said. Fatal crash on Route 7. You're the closest unit. Daniel froze for a second, staring at Rex. The dog whined again, low and mournful. I'm on it, Daniel said, grabbing his jacket. But as he opened the door, Rex barked again, louder, desperate, almost human in its warning tone. I'll be back, Daniel muttered, forcing a nervous laugh. The drive to Route 7 was 10 minutes, but each one felt longer. The fog was thick, his headlights barely cutting through it. As he turned the final bend, he saw the flashing blue lights. Police already on scene. A car had veered off the road into a ditch. Daniel parked, grabbed his medical bag, and ran toward the wreck. The officer waved him over. Single driver, male, early 30s, no pulse, he said. Daniel knelt beside the body, but the second he saw the man's face, his breath caught. It was Eli Turner, his old partner, the man he'd worked with for years before Eli left the job. He hadn't seen him in months. Eli. Oh God. Daniel tried compressions anyway, counting under his breath, refusing to believe it. But Eli was gone the rest of the night. Blurred police statements, flashing lights, the quiet drive home. All Daniel could think about was Rex's bark, how it came minutes before the call. He told himself maybe dogs sensed stress somehow. Maybe he'd subconsciously known. But deep down, a cold thought grew. What if Rex didn't just sense death? What if he saw it coming when he got home near dawn? Rex was sitting in the same spot by the mirror, silent, now staring into his reflection. Daniel crouched beside him. It was Eli. He whispered, did you know? Did you try to tell me? The dog pressed his nose against Daniel's hand, but didn't look away from the mirror. The next day, Daniel couldn't shake the unease. He started listing every incident, dates, times, who died when Rex barked. The intervals matched almost down to the minute, but one thing stood out. The last 3 times Rex had barked before Daniel got the call, meaning the dog wasn't reacting to sirens or panic. He was predicting. He mentioned it at work, half jokingly, but the others laughed it off. Maybe your mutt's just psychic one. Paramedic teased, bring him to the ER, we'll skip the monitors. Daniel smiled weakly, but inside his nerves burned. That night, he tried an experiment. He set up a small camera in the living room, facing Rex, turned off all lights, and waited. Hours passed. Midnight, 1, 2, then just before 3, Rex lifted his head again, ears twitching toward the hallway. Daniel held his breath. The dog growled, low eyes locked on the mirror. Then came that bark again. One pause, one. Like an omen, Daniel glanced. At his phone, no call. He waited, palms sweating, nothing. 10 minutes, still nothing. He almost relaxed until the phone buzzed a number he didn't recognize. He answered a faint voice, whispered, "Help, please." Static, swallowed the rest, then silence. "Hello. Who is this?" No reply. He checked the number, blocked at that exact moment. The camera he'd set up flickered. He turned toward it. The lens was cracked, as if something had hit it from inside. He checked. Rex the dog had retreated under the table, shaking. Daniel's heart pounded. He replayed the camera feed for a few seconds before the bark. The reflection in the mirror had shifted. Just slightly, a dark shape moved behind him, but no one was there. He stared at the frozen frame, the outline almost human, standing right where he was. Now the next morning, he went to visit Eli's mother to offer condolences. She answered the door with swollen eyes. "He called me the night he died," she said. "He kept hearing a dog barking outside his window. Said it wouldn't stop until he went to look." Daniel's stomach dropped. Did he have a dog? She shook her head. No, that's the strange part. Driving home, Daniel couldn't stop replaying that detail. Could Rex's bark reach beyond walls? Beyond distance? Could it follow people? The thought was insane, but the coincidences were piling up that night. He moved the mirror out to the garage, convinced. Somehow it was part of it. He slept uneasy. Around 2:40 a.m. Rex began whining again. Daniel shot up, heart hammering. No. He whispered, "Not tonight." The dog barked once, twice, then stopped abruptly, tail stiff. The sound of glass breaking echoed from the garage. He grabbed a flashlight and went out. The mirror had fallen, shattered into a dozen jagged pieces. The air was freezing cold, his breath visible, and in one of the fragments, his reflection didn't move. He froze, watching it, his real hand trembling while the reflection's hand stayed perfectly still. Then the reflection smiled. He stumbled back, the flashlight flickering. Rex barked furiously, now from the living room. The shards trembled slightly, as if from vibrations, though the air was still. Then one of the shards rolled upright, balancing impossibly, and a faint whisper came from it. "Eli's voice, you left me." Daniel's blood ran cold. "No, you're gone." He whispered, "You're dead." The whisper grew clearer. "I wasn't supposed to die alone." The flashlight died, plunging him into darkness. When he came to his senses the next morning, the garage was normal again. The mirror was broken, yes, but nothing else seemed out of place. Rex lay at his feet, exhausted. Daniel tried to rationalize it: stress, grief, exhaustion. But when he picked up one shard, faint letters were etched into the glass. Tonight. That evening, he decided to stay with his sister, Claire, across town, thinking maybe a change of place would reset his mind. He brought Rex along. Claire laughed when he told her about the barking. "You always were superstitious," she said, ruffling his hair. "Maybe he's just sensitive." He wanted to believe that they sat chatting till late. Rex sleeping near the door around 11 p.m. He noticed the dog twitching, ears moving. Rex, the dog, stood abruptly, eyes wide, tail stiff. He barked once, then again. Daniel froze. "No, not here." Claire frowned. With him before he could answer, her phone rang. Unknown number. She picked up. "Hello." Her smile faded. "Who is this?" Silence. Then her eyes went wide. She dropped the phone. On the screen, the call timer ran, but the voice coming through the speaker wasn't human. It was a distorted growl. Rex's bark slowed down. The lights flickered. Daniel grabbed his sister's arm. "We need to leave." But the front door wouldn't budge. Outside, wind howled suddenly. Rex barked again, running in circles. Panicked Daniel, "What's happening?" Claire cried. He turned toward her, and for a split second, he saw someone standing behind her. In the reflection of the TV, a man, dripping wet face, pale eyes dark. He blinked, and the figure was gone. The wind stopped. Rex whimpered. Claire's phone buzzed with a message. "It's his turn at 3 a.m. Daniel woke to the sound of Rex scratching at the window. The dog was growling low, staring into the yard. Daniel looked out. Nothing, just fog. Then a faint shadow moved near the gate. A human shape he grabbed. A flashlight stepped outside. Whose there silence he walked closer, each step sinking into damp grass. The light cut through fog. And there was Eli again, or something that looked like him, standing motionless by the fence. Eli, Daniel whispered. The figure tilted its head. You tried to save everyone except me, it rasped. Daniel backed away, trembling. I couldn't, you were already gone, he shouted. The shadow stepped closer, voice now echoing inside his head. You can't outrun what's coming, he knows. When it's time, a growl erupted behind Daniel. Rex lunged between them, barking ferociously. The figure hissed, retreating into the fog. Rex barked until the last trace of the shape vanished. Then silence. The next morning, Claire found Daniel on the porch, pale, shaking. You look like you saw a ghost, she said gently. Maybe I did, he whispered, but Rex saved me. She smiled weakly. You and that dog. For a week, things were calm. No barking, no whispers. Daniel almost believed it was over until the 8th night. He was watching TV when Rex began to whine again. Not the warning bark, but a soft, sorrowful sound. Daniel knelt beside him. Okay, buddy, nothing's wrong.